The sun's going down as I try to make my way through the crowd. Feeling alive, I love being by your side, it makes me shine. We got one summer, so let's make it count.
What up, my friends? This is Ron with Crossroads Media, and welcome to another video where today I'm going to be doing my 1-month review on the Mako Pro Skiff 17. Now, I love this boat. There's not a single regret I have about buying it. However, in a perfect world, there are a few things that I would probably change. So we're going to do a walk around the boat. I'm going to tell you things I love about the boat, and I'm going to tell you a few things that I don't quite like about it or just doesn't seem quite right to me. So let's take a walk and look at all the features of the Mako 2020 Pro Skiff 17 and give you guys an honest review and opinion of how it works for me. So before I get too far into the walkthrough about this boat, I do want to take a moment and recognize Scott's Marine over in Alberta, Alabama. I know I touched on it when we did the I Bought the Boat video, but I want to kind of go into a little more detail because those guys were absolutely phenomenal to work with. Riley was my sales rep over there, and I always tell people customer service is really measured by the follow-up. When you're there spending money, you're going to get good service. I don't care where you're at. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get great service when you're there to give them money. The follow-up after you spend your money is really what puts customer service to the test, and these guys have been second to none. Every time I've called or texted or emailed them with a question, the follow-up was almost immediate. They've never gotten frustrated with me as I've asked what probably is an ignorant question to some people, but I just don't know because of my inexperience with boats. They have been nothing but top shelf the entire time. So thank you so much to all the guys over at Scott's Marine and gals for giving us a great boat buying experience with your company. So we will start right here with the 75 horsepower Mercury 4-stroke outboard engine. Now, I didn't mention that in the introductory video that it was a 4-stroke engine, but I think almost all of them are nowadays. I don't know that they make very many 2-stroke engines and put them on boats anymore. This engine is equipped with a Spitfire stainless steel prop, which is a necessity if you're going to have the boat in salt water. If you put just a standard prop on here like we would use up in Kentucky or something like that, the thing's going to melt away within the first 2 months due to the salt water. That stuff will eat through plastic. So guys, this is going to bring me to the first thing I don't like about this boat. And I shouldn't say I don't like it. I should say I'm a little bit lazy. The motor has to be rinsed out straight up and down, as I'm sure it does with all boats. But with the motor toter, when you put it on to leave the boat ramp, you take it back to your house, you have to raise it up, put it on the motor toter, take it off. It's just a lot of work to take that off and on the motor toter just to rinse the engine out when you get home. So that would be one of my mild complaints about this. So guys, if you're wondering where I've spent my last month, this is basically it. I've either been sitting on that cooler seat or standing up behind the steering wheel of this boat. I love the center console on this boat. It gives us plenty of room for Sarah, myself, and the boys to all go out. We can definitely get 6 people on it. We've tried that out. That was one of our big concerns when family, friends come down. We want to make sure that everybody can have a good time and enjoy this. So guys, my favorite thing about this boat is the fishability. It's why I purchased it to begin with. Everything else was just kind of an added on bonus. You have this large open deck on the front for sight casting or for casting that puts you above a little bit higher on the water. You also have a large casting deck from the back of the boat, as well as the whole deck of the boat is great for fishing from. The kids get in here, they don't have a single issue. They can stand right against the seats or against the front well. They can cast, they can catch fish. Everybody has already caught a fish off the boat, and I can tell you guys it took me a little bit longer than everybody else to catch one, but I finally did. You have lots and lots of room on this boat to cast out, and with the rod holders conveniently placed right here, you can always grab your pole in a hurry if you need to. So guys, when you come to right here, this is where a couple things that I would change about this boat rest. The first is right here at my feet, and it's the gas can. I do wish this thing had a larger gas tank on it. Now, you can add another gas tank to them, which I'm definitely going to do. When I leave at Navy Point and head out across the bay, out to where I really like to fish, out at the pass and back, it uses well over a half a tank of fuel, which is fine. I've got enough to make the run, but my thought process is I'm usually only out for 2 or 3 hours during that time. If there's ever a day when I want to take the boat out for an entire day, I'm definitely going to need a backup fuel source because this 1 6-gallon tank is not going to cut it. So the last thing that I will say that I don't like, or not even necessarily that I don't like, but the only problem that I've had with the boat since I bought it a month ago is this front bait well. When you first put the boat in the water, it fills up fine. You turn the power on, the water will flush right into it and does a cycle. Once you take the boat across water, or you get it up to full speed for a few minutes and then back it down, the water will no longer flow into the front bait well. I'm getting ready to take the boat back in for its 10-hour service, and when I do, I'm going to have them look at that and see what's going on or what that problem may be. The back bait well has been wonderful, not had a minute's issue with it whatsoever. It is just this front bait well that I'm having the issues with. So I touched on it when I first bought the boat about this oversized storage hat in the front, and it is still absolutely awesome. We keep 4 life jackets, or actually 6 life jackets, 4 of the vest style, 2 of just the square ones, my tackle box, throwables, all that stuff stays in here. It does take on water. I don't want anybody to think that this is a dry storage area, because it's not. It does take on water, so you definitely don't want to put anything in there that you don't want to get wet. I would use the chest cooler back there for that if you've got something that you just don't want to get wet and you're trying to keep it dry on a day on the water, or if you're rinsing off the boat or something like that. This does get wet, but that's normal. That's not a deterrent or anything like that. I just want to let you know that water does get into this. So we just take the life jackets out, dry them after each time out. It's not an issue, but all of this storage space is amazing. We can put drinks, snacks, all that kind of stuff in here for the kids. And obviously, if you have kids, you know how important that is. If you try to go spend a day on the water without bringing snacks for your kids, it's going to be a real long day for you. So the next great thing about this boat, and the biggest fear I think people have with skiff boats, is how hard they're going to smack if there's any kind of chop at all. Now, I'm not trying to lie to you or fool you. This boat will still smack the water pretty good. But this V-hull design that Mako has put on these boats is outstanding. It handles amazing. Turns great, probably better than any boat I've ever been on. I've never owned a boat, but I've definitely been on a few boats. This thing turns on a dime. And when you're out in the chop, I actually went out to the pass last week, and it was like flat calm when I went out. Wind picked up. I was having a really good day fishing. When I came back, the chop had gotten really high, and it was a little nerve-wracking because I'd never been in water that was quite that rough. But this thing handled like a champ. The V-hull design that has been a staple of the Mako skiff boat for some time now really handled the chop. It definitely still hit a little bit hard, but overall, it just handled the waves better than I could have even expected. That's awesome, because that was one of the biggest things that we reviewed about this boat, and something we were really looking for was that we could take it out in semi-rough waters and it would handle okay. So being the inexperienced boater that I am, one of the big things for me was being able to unload and trailer this boat. The first time I trailered this boat, I smacked it hard. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna try to help you guys learn from my mistake and explain exactly what happened. And I'm sure it's what happens a lot of times when people try to put their boats on the trailer the first time. I definitely had the trailer backed in way too far. So there was nothing there to really slow the momentum of the boat when I pulled it up on the trailer. I was squared up and had it hit exactly right. It just hit that front wheel really hard. Now, what I learned to do that will keep that from happening again is right down here. And Sarah, if you can follow me with the camera, you want these bumpers to be about 6 to 12 inches out of the water when you get ready to pull the boat up. The front bumpers on this will not slow down the boat. You need these long bumpers on the bottom to slow the boat down. I thought the front ones were going to do it, but they don't actually catch the front of this boat when you're trailering it almost till the very end. So if that is all you're relying on to slow the boat down, it simply won't do it. You have to use these outside bumpers to slow your boat down as you're putting it on the trailer. So the console on the Mako is pretty standard. You've got your switch to turn the battery power on to everything. I definitely recommend leaving that off if you're not out on your boat, if you just have it at your house. It's not going to wear the battery down just with that red button being turned on, but if you accidentally leave one of your switches on or something like that, that disconnects the power to everything, so you don't run any risk of running your battery down. On the left-hand side of the console, obviously you have your ignition switch. That's where your power supply switch is at, your bilge pump, and then of course your nav lights is on that side as well. Over here you have all your aerators for your live wells. You have your forward aerator, your rear or your aft aerator. Sorry, I'm still not using the boat lingo like I'm supposed to. Your aft aerator, not your rear. And then of course your horn, and this does have a 12-volt cigarette lighter or 12-volt plug. I guess you'd have to be of my age to remember the cigarette lighter, since they don't actually put those in cars anymore. The one thing about this, I'm about ready to add some electronics to the boat. So I'm getting ready to put a fish finder on it, which is going to mount right up here in the windshield area. I do wish there was a way, and I don't really know what I'm going to do yet, to add more storage space just to sit stuff, phones, things like that, glasses, because once I put that fish finder up on the dashboard of the console, it's really going to take away that whole dash other than the cup holder, and I'm not going to have a lot of space left to put things. So that's just going to have to be something I kind of figure out on my own and figure out exactly where I want to store stuff. So guys, as you can tell, I love this boat. There are very few things that I don't like about it. It's an amazing boat for my needs. Now, I do want to let you know, this is a very basic boat. I wanted that because I'm not mechanically inclined and I don't really know how to fix things. There are very few things that can go wrong on this boat. And if something does go wrong, I can pretty much follow the line and see where the problem is. If it's as simple as something being unhooked or something like that, I can see it. But this boat does not have a lot of bells and whistles without adding them on. So if that's something that you are looking for or that you want, one of the more expensive like bell and whistle boats may be better for you. But if you are just looking for a great boat with a great feel to go out and fish or have some fun on the water or just spend the day out on, this is the boat for you. I can't say enough good things about the Mako Pro Skiff 17. 17-foot vessel, great to handle, great for beginners, and overall, just a great boat. Guys, I just want to take a moment and thank everyone so much for your support. We greatly, greatly appreciate all the support and growth that this channel has experienced over the last couple of weeks. We are so grateful for that. If you have not subscribed to the channel or if you're new here, we definitely want to take a minute and invite you to subscribe. We do all kinds of different stuff on our YouTube channel, whether it be out on the boat fishing. Sarah does a lot of wedding stuff and behind the scenes at weddings. We want you guys to come along with us as we travel all over the country videoing weddings in 2020. It is going to be a great year for Hart Cross Films and RG1 Productions, and we are so excited to bring you guys along for the ride on this channel. So guys, if you haven't subscribed, please smash that subscribe button 2020 style. And this is Ron with Crossroads Media. We'll see you on the next one. You guys be good.
It's only